Okay, in this part of the lesson, we're going to be working with just more complex concepts involving zero exponents and negative exponents. So let's start out with where we have to do a little bit of previous knowledge. Use our previous knowledge to simplify and then finish solving, understanding the new idea about zero exponent and negative exponents, which I kind of touched on this at the end of the previous video. So here we're multiplying negative 8.5 to the negative 4 times negative 8.5 to the positive 4. So remember, when we are multiplying and they have the same base number, we're actually going to add the exponents. So that's our previous knowledge. So negative 4 plus 4 gives me an exponent of 0. So any exponent of 0, review, equals 1. So our final answer on this one would be 1. Okay, so here's where they're going to piece together stuff that we previously learned and ask us to use that new knowledge and apply it. Okay, so let's try a few other ones. Okay, so once again, using our previous knowledge. So let's start out here, we're multiplying. So when we multiply, we end up adding those. So 2 plus a negative 2 gives me 4 to the power of 0, which equals simplified 1. And no, they do not want us to write 4 to the power of 0. They want it simplified. Okay, if you were working with 4 to the power of 0 and had some other steps of a base number that had the same base of 4, then you would leave it. But when they ask for that final answer, you want to simplify it as low as possible. Okay, so here we're doing division, which means we're subtracting between the two. So I'm going to write my minus sign and bring my 6 right up there. So I have a negative 3. 5 minus 6 is a negative 1 exponent. So we learned previously on the previous video that we have to write the reciprocal of that. So it becomes 1 over negative 3. And that negative does not go off that base number, but it goes off just the exponent. So it becomes 1 over negative 3 to the first power. Simplified, it would just be 1 negative 1/3 as a final answer. Okay, so here we've got a combination. So I'm going to go ahead and put these two together. Remember, we're adding. So 7 plus a negative 4 gives us 3. So 1 over 5 to the power of 3. So here we're not really working with the negative. Okay, we were in that integer concept, but 1 over 5 to the power of 3 would give us 1 over 125 for a final answer. Okay, so let's review one other concept. What else might happen? Sometimes you might have something that starts out as a fraction with a negative on the bottom. So let's just rework this one. Let's say this was a 9 here. Okay, and I had to do an addition here. So I have 1 over 5, and I do 7 plus a negative 9 gives me negative 2. Will we still do the same concept? Yes. You have to get rid of that negative on the exponent. So we're still going to do that reciprocal, which would make this now 5 squared over 1, which is just the same as 5 squared, which equals 25. So no, it's not just always taking it to the bottom. It is doing the reciprocal or the flip of that fraction form of that exponent number to get rid of that negative. But remember, the negative only comes off of the exponent, not the base number. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple to try. So I want you to pause your video. So let's do okay, so let's do that one. And then okay, so I want you to go ahead and pause your video and work your way through these two, and then restart your video to check your answers. Okay, so your final answer, you should have gotten 3 to the 5th power or 243 for the first one. And for the second one, you should have gotten -7 to the 0, which became just a 1.